Thinking of you, thinking of you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back again with me. My name is Nyimas Nispu Saharani with NPM C1C021044 from Bengkulu University, and I'm from class D Accounting. Okay, in here I will complete an argumentative assessment given by my assistant lecturer. Her name is Miss Stephanie Likasari Tarigan, and my lecturer is Mem Dr. II Sujarwati SPD MPD. Well, the title I took in this assessment is Implementation of IFRS in Indonesia. Implementation of IFRS in Indonesia. As we know, Indonesia have 6 accounting standards that apply in Indonesia. The namely is General Financial Accounting Standard, IFRS, International Finance Report Standard based SAK. The second, Entity Financial Accounting Standard without Public Accountability Government Accounting Standard. The fourth, Sharia Accounting Standard. The fifth, SAK Non-Profit Organization. And the last, SIK of Small Medium Micro Entities. In the world, there are two international based accounting in the world. The name is GAAP and IFRS. GAAP is used by American countries and IFRS is used by European countries. In the past, Indonesia was based on GAAP until there was a crisis where those in Europe that used IFRS accounting standard. And after that, the Indonesia SAK is based off IFRS. IFRS is an effort to strengthen the global financial architecture and find long-term solution to the lack of transparency of financial information. IFRS is prepared by the main organization, namely the International Accounting Standard Agency or ISB, the European Community Commission or IC, and the International Organization for Capital Markets or ISOC, and the last, the Federal International Accounting or IFAC. The purpose of IFRS is to ensure that the company's financial statements and interim financial statements for the periods referred to in the annual financial statements contains high-quality information which: the first, transparent to user and comparable throughout the period presented. The second, provide an adequate starting point for IFRS-based accounting. The third, can be generated at a cost that does not exceed the benefit to the user. The pros and cons of IFRS-based SAK that apply in Indonesia. The pros, according to Marsini Purba in her book entitled International Financial Reporting Standard, that IFRS has the main benefit derived from harmonization of accounting standard and financial reporting is a better understanding of financial reporting by user of financial statements from various countries. According to the head of the IFRS Indonesian Institute of Accountants IAI implementation team, his name Mr. Dudi M. Kurniawan, he said that by adopting IFRS, Indonesia will get several benefits at once. The first, improving the quality of financial accounting standard SAK. The second, reducing SAK costs. The third, increase the credibility and usefulness of financial report. The fourth, improving comparability of financial reporting. The fifth, improve financial transparency. The sixth, lowering the cost of capital by opening up opportunities to raise funds through the capital. And the last, improving the efficiency of preparing financial report. Besides having good pros and benefits for Indonesia, IFRS also has cons for Indonesia. The cons are as follows: lack of infrastructure readiness in Indonesia, laws and regulations that are not necessarily in accordance with IFRS provisions, lack of human resource and education in Indonesia, which we can see from the lack of teaching and discussion of financial accounting topics related to IFRS, because IFRS is used as a lecture principal accounting education study program in Indonesia, as well as the translation process from IFRS to PSAK. Sometimes it takes a relatively long time and sometimes also gives a different meaning from the original source. And conclusion and solution. The conclusion can I put from the explanation above, we can conclude that most of the companies or countries that implement IFRS are developed countries and developed companies as well. The use of IFRS itself has a positive impact both for Indonesia, namely access to international hinterlands will be more open because financial report will be more easily communicated to global investors. The relevance of financial statements will increase because they use more fair value. Financial performance or income statements will increase more volatile. The company's financial statements will be easier to understand because they reveal detailed information clearly and transparently. And the solution for that The solution for that problem is Indonesia must adopt international accounting standard to make it easier for foreign companies to sell shares in this country or vice versa. We recommend that before we fully adopt the IFRS provisions, we should adjust them to the prevailing laws and regulation in Indonesia, so that things do not happen that we don't want. Regarding the lack of learning and discussion about IFRS, it should be done immediately, even though it is a subject. This is a new subject for the accounting study program, but we can learn it because the IFRS provisions are very useful for Indonesia itself. Okay, maybe that's all I can say about implementation of IFRS based in Indonesia. If there is an error in my pronunciation, I'm sorry. And I will end. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks for watching this video and see you next time. Bye.
you.